The 4-3-1-2, when formatted correctly, is one of the hardest formations for your opponents to stop in FC25. So today I'm going to be showing you guys the best 4-3-1-2 custom tactics to help you guys improve your rank. Let's get into it. As always guys, if this video does help you out, please be sure to leave a like on the video. It really goes a long way and helps me out. In return, here is the tactics code on screen down below. Kicking things off with the build-up style, that is going to be on short passing. It just lends to a tiki-taka style, really, having so many players within a close proximity to each other. Balance does work. Counter I didn't like on this one, but short passing was kind of my preference. But if you don't like it, by all means try balance, but I think short passing is the way to go. The defensive approach is literally on 50 because we have a lot of players up in the attack. And when I played 70, it was just like I had too many players overcommitted. This formation, even at 50 depth, actually plays with a really good press. So don't think you're going to be playing too passive and sitting back with balanced on this specific formation. Because of where the players are positioned when possession turns over, it generally just allows for a really strong press. In terms of the team shape, as you can see here, without the ball, we're rocking the traditional 4-3-1-2 shape. So there's a little bit of an onus on your wing backs to cover the wide areas, which is one of the slight flaws with the shape in terms of defending. But that press kind of counters those spaces because you're just pushing so many people against their ball carrier. Then with the ball, you've got a very, very dynamic shape here. So our right back is sitting a little bit deeper than our left back. We're going to focus our attacks down the left a little bit more than the right. However, we will be able to bring the right back into play as well if we want to. As you can see there, we've got a little bit more of a defensive onus on the left side of midfield because we've got more of an attacking onus on the flanks, and then kind of the opposite on the right. A little bit more of a defensive onus on the defense, but then a little bit more of an attacking onus on the centre mid who's pushed forward a little bit. And then as you can see there, our front three are all very, very offensive, very tucked up, almost like three strikers, with the aim being to isolate the opponent's two centre-backs with our three attackers, so we've always got a spare man. Getting into the player role, starting with both of the strikers, we're running them on advanced forward and attack. Advanced forward to get a mix of runs and them dropping short, so we get a really complete striker. And then I've got the focus on attack to keep them central, because this is all about outnumbering the centre-backs in this formation. As you can see here, our central attacking midfielder is on shadow striker. Also on attack, again, we want to keep them really central, really offensive with their runs, so we still manage to isolate those two centre-backs with three attackers. It's vital that that cam is just as attacking as our strikers and isn't sitting in the hole too much for this to work. With that, it's worth saying, go for a cam that actually has good pacing, good finishing, because if you go with someone, say, like a De Bruyne, when he's making those offensive runs, he's just going to get caught up for pace in the majority of the scenarios that he gets in. So I've got this Rutter card, which is a great SBC card for this position because he can actually naturally play at striker as well. So he just plays this role perfectly. But you guys, at this point, if you're looking at custom tactics videos, you know the kind of intel you need for what I'm saying. Just go for someone that is fast and is really, really good on goal. Our left centre mid and middle centre mid are both holding defend. The middle centre mid just so they're our anchor in midfield, and then the left centre mid because our left back will be pushing up quite a lot in this formation. So it just provides a little bit more defensive cover there. I have long ball pass plus on both of these players. Really, really effective for them to be your cannons in midfield, sending those balls along to the three runners up front. And then our right centre mid is on playmaker attack. They're really the more offensive side of the midfield because our right back isn't going to push up as much as our left back. So you've kind of got a threat on the left with your left back, and you've got a threat on the right with your right centre mid, effectively. As I alluded to earlier, the left back is on wing back balance. I'm not running attacking wing back because the problem with attacking wing back, as good as it is going forward, with a formation that doesn't have a super strong defensive shape, I don't want too many players overcommitted. So I do run wing back, and I use them more as like an overload passing option in the midfield, opposed to always sending through the left back like people used to do with a 4-3-2-1 last year. They are there kind of just to overload the midfield and be a wide option, opposed to being like the sole route of all of our attacks, because a lot of our attacks in this formation do go down the middle, and just having that left back overlapping and providing more width, you can press the ball out wide. Therefore, the opponent has to move his defenders out wide, and that creates more space then in the middle for your three attackers who are going to outnumber the opponent there. Now, the right back is full back balanced. If you struggle to defend, you can run full back defend so they don't commit forward. However, I still like the option to have an attack down the right if it makes sense. If the opponent's defense is really drawn over one side and you do a big switch, it's always nice to get the right back into play as well. So, right back on full back balance just allows you to bring them into play if you want to, but for the most part, they are going to be sticking in that right back position, as you can see here with the with ball sort of formation shape. So they're generally going to sit back, but they're there as an option if you want them. And then here we're going good old 101 routine sort of style. Defender on both of our centre backs. Go for the best AI fast centre backs, big frame that you can get. Aim for aerial plus on at least one of them, because that way you've got a corner threat as well. And then on your goalkeeper, I'm just running sweeper keeper balance because it's Alisson's plus role, but also I just like how the sweeper keeper role actually works in this year's game. As I show you guys just a few of the goals that I scored with this formation, just so you can see actually, like with your own eyes, how this formation plays in game. What you'll notice is there is just a huge onus on attacking through the middle, utilising finesse shots with my strikers, who I didn't mention earlier, both have the finesse shot trait. So I've got Griezmann on the right, Son on the left, both on their opposing foot, so they can always cut in and hit finesse shots. I think that's a really, really big asset in this year's game, especially for this formation with the sort of positions that they take up. However, it's not necessary. You could put a right foot on the right, left foot on the left, and sort of utilise Travella's a little bit more, but the finesse shot with the finesse shot plus play style is just so overpowered. They really, really hit them consistently, so it is just something I like to opt for. In terms of the centre midfielders, you'll notice that right centre mid really does operate a little bit like a winger, which is why I like this Iwobi card a lot. This is my first red card in this game. I really, really like him. I think he's such a versatile card, and he really, really lends to this role super well. You'll notice that my right back doesn't always sit back. I can push him up if I want to, as I mentioned earlier, but as you'll notice, the main width is being provided by a left back who is on wing back. And then with our centre backs, they're just there to be our absolute solid force at the back. We're not going to be committing them too much. We don't want to be playing like ball-playing defender or stopper. They're just there to be our last line of defence before the goalkeeper, just to ensure we're not getting countered too easily. There's a big onus on trying to switch into your centre midfielders in this when defending and trying to pull them back, because naturally this formation, despite being on the balanced line depth, it still pushes up a lot because of the nature of how it attacks. So it's really important you're consciously bringing your midfielders sort of back to defend and not always resorting to kind of like that back three that you've got sat back to deal with all the counter-attacks, because you will find yourself outnumbered. And even with that, you're going to find yourself outnumbered at times. The kind of ethos with a formation like this is you kind of score two to concede one. So you're kind of expecting to concede in this formation, but you're also expecting to get more goals than you ordinarily would. That is everything from me today, guys. If the tactics do help you out, please be sure to let me know down below. You can also check out my custom tactics playlist. That is linked in the description below for you guys to check out. But as always, guys, if you did make it this far in the video, I really appreciate your time. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn your bell on. Take care, guys.